Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Apex E-Series Showdown here at Kansas. And tonight, we are taking on a very, very fun track in Kansas Motor Speedway. Actually, it's just called Kansas Speedway, no motor in it. But I want to thank Apex Sim Racing Custom Gear, our main sponsor. Glad to have y'all tonight. I'm Eddie Smith with Rebel Racing Network. Tonight, we're going to have a lot of fun as we get to a big track. Martinsville's over with. The mess is over, and we're getting back to some spread out big track racing and maybe a little bit less cautions than last week. Last week we saw a tough battle, and Chris Carroll able to come away with the win. Tonight we're going to see who can come away with the win at Kansas, and looking forward to it. The season has been a really amazing season so far. It's been a lot of fun to watch these guys sort of mature as a league, and tonight Kansas has put on one of the best shows in Apex, so I expect the same here. And we will go ahead and pull up the grid, see where everybody's starting today. Starting on the front row, George Williams. Man, look at that. Number 40 truck going to start out front today. And he is going to be well, I'm trying to find it. He's going to be the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner. So congratulations, George C. Williams. Garrett Kinder going to be outside the front row. Starting in row number 2 is going to be Tracy Passons and Aaron Adcock. Chris Bedwell, Josh Lokovitz, 5th and 6th. 7th and 8th, Joseph Mahar, Chris McLean, Alan Smith, and Chuck Pegleg Phelps. Gonna move through this pretty quickly now. Kip Easley, Dana Shepard, Charles Stevens Jr., Daniel Holcroft, Willie Evernham, Steve Ayers Jr., Mike Presley, Matt Rogers, Ray Rogers and Chris Carroll. And Anthony Edgerton brings up the rear of the field. Everybody getting lined up to get this thing rolling. Looking forward to a good show tonight. It's got 120 laps here. Stage break at lap 25, I believe. It's either 20 or 25. Pretty sure it's 25. So these guys are going to be racing their guts out all the way to the first stage, where we'll throw the caution, get lined back up, and go at it again. Pace car pulls off, and we are getting ready to get green here in Kansas. Garrett Kinder gets a nice start. Neck and neck, him and George Williams, as they go down into turn number 1. Kinder holding that top side. You're going to see that top side be very, very dominant tonight, I believe. You're going to see some passes to get made up there, as Garrett Kinder almost clear of George as they come out of turn 4 to complete the first lap. And Garrett Kinder going to lead the lap, and he's going to clear George there to see if he can hold it as we go down to turn 1. And Garrett Kinder able to take that top spot. So the 13 Big Frig got a nice new paint scheme going on, as the 17 of Aaron Adcock looking to the outside maybe, and the 13 shuts the door. The 17 going to go to the outside again and try to take over that spot. You'll see the outside become more and more of a factor as the tires start to wear. The inside going to be pretty strong, but the outside will pick up speed as the runs go on. As you see all kinds of jockeying position back here. Josh Lukovitz trying to take maybe even 3 wide. Pretty impressive. As, see some guys get loose. Aaron Adcock gets a little bit loose in that 17 machine. And now he's going backwards. Let's take a look at the Rebel Racing Network picture-in-picture of it going forward. Tracy Passons, or Josh Lokovitz, he's going to go down to the inside, and he is making moves trying to get around the 17, who found his way in, almost got in trouble there. But out front, it is Garrett Kinder. Got that ratchet speed shop, number 13. Got the gray and green, and little bit of blue, and gosh dang it, if there's not a Rebel Racing Network logo on there, love to see it. Kinder Farm and Ranch bringing us the Wreckage Rewinds tonight, so hopefully we won't be able to use them. So far, so good, as we are just a few laps into this thing. Racing has not slowed up at all. 13 trying to get that clean air, get out front, and control this race. That's going to be a big deal as the tires start to wear out. And you see right there, the 95, Chris Bedwell, going to the outside. Not quite able to get there just yet, but he's going to give it an attempt. He is able to get to the outside of him, so as they go down to turn 1, can Chris Bedwell clear the 53, maybe get a run? He's got Chris McLean right behind him, working that top side. Tracy going to try to come up just a little bit, but not going to be able to do it. Let's take a look real quick while we got some time. We're watching this amazing race. Let's go and see who we got on webcams tonight. Looks like we got Chris Bedwell, Chuck Pegleg Phelps, Charles Stevens, Daniel Holcroft, Aaron Adcock, Chris McLean, all on cam tonight. So that way we can show, talk to them, see their faces, put a face to the truck, face to the paint scheme, maybe. And Bedwell looking strong right there on the top left of the screen as he is getting a run off the corner. Going to look to the outside of the 13 machine. Chris McLean following right along as they're racing hard here. They got lap 25 is when the stage break ends. They're going to get some stage points for the top 5. So the top 5 going to be extremely important if you're battling in the points, which all these guys are. All these folks up front are all championship contenders. Pretty much the whole field is at this point. All it takes to win, you'll find yourself up there. Battle for the lead, though. Chris Bedwell able to get to the outside. 13 going to try to hold him off as, Tracy passing to Chris McLean. Almost made contact there, but it's side by side for the lead here. Coming to lap number 9, and Chris Bedwell going to lead that particular lap. So top side looking good so far. How will the tires respond to the top side? Man, you know what? I have to say Kansas is becoming one of my favorite tracks just for the fact that the top side is so strong. You get a cup car out here, get something with some horsepower, and run that cushion. And there is not much that's more fun in this series. George way up there trying to make that work too. George going backwards, though, as he is currently, he has dropped a ton of spots there. Try to get that up, get a camera on him so you can see. Garrett Kinder, though, fighting back on the inside, trying to maintain this lead. This battle for the lead has continued on for quite a few laps, and I expect to see that to continue. Yeah, while we're looking at that, we'll look at the picture-in-picture and see that George Williams having some trouble trying to get back through this field, but seems to be falling back a little bit. He has then fallen back, let's see, 9 spots now, and he's trying to go back to the inside of Dana Shepard, but battle for the lead continues on. As Garrett Kinder blinks out a little bit. But the 95 Chris Bedwell not able to make this pass. You think the top side would be a little bit stronger, and I think he will eventually get that position. But, man, Garrett Kinder doing a fantastic job of fighting. And you see the 53 of Tracy Passons really trying to make some ground up, maybe push Garrett Kinder back out to the lead. What's going on? All-time that scored is having an issue. Good grief. Got Chris McLean going all over the place. He's running back here in the 4th position. Chris McLean having a tough race last week. was running up front and then spun his tires on a restart, just lit him on fire, and he goes around. Man, I got to tell you, I'm impressed. It's hard to say if Bedwell is pushing hard. It seems like the high line's really good, but Kansas, one of those tracks that it's not dominant either way. The top side, I feel like, is pretty dang good on old tires, but it seems like both lanes were halfway decent. As I can't tell if Chris McLean is having connection issues or what's going on. I see he's dropped out of the camera room, so I don't know if he's having connection issues or what's going on, but iRacing just seems to think he's not even there sometimes. But he goes down to the inside. He is making a pass here on Tracy Passes. That's for third place. But we're still watching this battle for the lead. I can't turn the dang camera. Oh, somebody got in the wall. Couldn't tell if that was Chris Bedwell or if it was just a little bit of net code. But they still stay side by side. Bedwell getting way up there now as he's really trying to get the momentum off the corner and complete this pass. But Garrett Kinder not letting it go, and finally, with that, was able to get out to the outside. 3 wide. His Tracy Passes go down to the inside. He's going to push up the track. It's going to get tight here. Oh, my goodness. Holy moly. 3 wide for the lead here at Apex. You cannot believe this. This is incredible. And here comes Garrett Kinder right back after that 3 wide situation. Back down to the inside. Tracy Passes is very, very interested in just moving forward here. And not able to get up there. Try to see if we can. Oh, as Josh Lokovitz in the wall. You see him falling back a little bit there as we continue to watch this battle for the lead. It's incredible. Looking at Tracy Passes there in the bottom right, but Chris Bedwell able to take over the lead. Bedwell fought hard. How much of the tires did he use? I'd be interested to know. Did he use too many tires? You eat that right front up, but I don't know. It seems like everybody's going to eventually move up to the top side. You're already starting to see it now, where if you look down on the bottom right of your screen, you see Chris McLean, others using that top side already. You can already see the momentum that you're getting as you're having to lift a little bit there in the middle of the corner. And off the corner, that speed that you get from the top side is just superior. You see Chris McLean going to get a run there on the 13 machine. Oh, is McLean going to get to the wall? That's the danger of running up high, as McLean is going to fall back there as he loses a few spots. He's going to lose a spot to Aaron Adcock. As soon as I go on board with him, he gets into the wall. So the 5 machine already getting in some trouble, pushing the limits on that outside wall, and gets into it. Now Tracy Passes bounces off of it. So guys having trouble here early. But we are still battling for the lead. Good grief. As we're going to go and check out this real quick. See what Bedwell looks like as he's holding on to that lead. Time to finally got around the 13, and the dadgummit if Garrett didn't get back to him and just going to jump down to the inside. Garrett not playing around tonight, man. He is having a blast. Hey, Garrett Kinder, one of my favorite people to race with because a lot of people, you race them and you might get a little bit loose and somebody gets nervous. And, some folks will get nervous. They'll maybe even get mad, road rage. But not Garrett Kinder, man. Garrett, if you get out there and you're banging doors and slip sliding all over the place, sliding the rears off the corner, all you're going to get in Discord is, let's go. And, man, it's just a blast to race with him. So hopefully Chris Bedwell feels the same way as it's a non-stop onslaught from the 13 machine trying to get the lead back. Right now, just 2 laps to go in the stage. Who's going to take the stage win right now? Chris McLean hold on to that 5th position, and it is a cluster back here behind him. As you see, a bunch of drivers led by Aaron Adcock with Josh Lokovitz down to the inside now on the 17 machine. Going to drive pretty deep. Is he going to be able to hold it? Going to try to slide up in front of that 17. It does complete the slide job. So Josh Lokovitz up to 7th. They don't pay, these positions don't pay any playoff points. It's that silver car right in front up there you see up against the wall. That's the one they got to get to. That's Chris McLean. He is currently in that 5th position. Somebody really haven't talked about is Joseph Mahar, who is running in the 4th position. He's having a great run to start with. Moved up 3 spots, so him and Bedwell have been some pretty big movers. But up front, it is still a battle. Does Garrett Kinder have anything for him? No point in saving tires now. It's too late. The battle here for the lead, and caution does come out right at 25, so Chris Bedwell is going to be your stage 1 winner. What a fun drive, man. Good grief, that's a blast. Love to see that. Love to see these guys racing hard. So what does a stage break give you? It lets you go down pit road. You're definitely going to take tires, and you're going to go get 4 tires of fuel. And tonight we have 4 sets of tires, so they'll have 3 extra. So we got 3 sets to take. Now, I don't think we'll see anybody stay out. I don't think anyway. We will see how it plays out, but I don't think we'll see anybody stay out and try to save a set. Most likely everybody going to come down pit road and get those tires. And you're going to be able to look down and see how they went. And, you know, did I do a good job? Do I need to change something? What do I need to fix? All kinds of data you can use here with a stage break. So I expect to see somebody who may have burned them up a little bit, maybe figure out a way to save a little bit extra here after this stage. We'll see if anybody comes down pit road. We got any takers? And yep, leaders coming down pit road now. Chris Bedwell, Garrett Kinder, kind of been the class of the field so far, but Tracy Pass and Joseph Mahar seem to be just hanging back there. And if Chris McLean can ever get off that wall, I think he might be a dangerous fella. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Everybody coming down, get 4 tires and fuel, and then we'll get Chris Bedwell up here and talk to him about that stage win and see what he's thinking about the rest of the race and see what his plan is moving forward to watch the race off the pit road. Garrett Kinder going to win that battle as everybody else comes out. Joseph Mahar going to come off 3rd. Tracy passes 4th. Chris McLean 5th. So Garrett Kinder wins the battle off pit road, and he will start as the lead car here when we go back green. All right, well, let's talk to Bedwell and see what he thought. Chris Bedwell is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy.
Well, man, what a fantastic first stage as you and Garrett Kinder just racing your guts out side by side for multiple laps. You're finally able to get around him, and still couldn't get away from him as he kept fighting back, but able to get that stage win, man. How does that feel, and how is the truck feeling tonight and going forward? How's it looking?
It feels pretty good. You know, the truck feels pretty good up high to me. I can't really run the bottom like he can. I tried at the end just to take some air off his front end. Feeling pretty good. He's going to be really tough. We sort of ran away from everybody there a little bit, maybe a half second lead on people. It's going to be a fun race if we can race like that the rest of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right. Well, thanks for talking to us, Stage 1 winner. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, sir.
All right, there is your Stage 1 winner, Chris Bedwell. It looks like he's having a lot of fun and looking forward to some more of that. And so am I. I'm ready to see some side-by-side racing. I'm going to see who's got the the long run speed. Now we saw the short run, fellas. Let's see who's got some some long run speed. Chris Carroll up 18 spots or 13 spots from where he started. 12 now. Ray Rogers also moving up through the field. So keep an eye out on those folks, no doubt. Coming to the green flag, Garrett Kinder gonna lead us down with Chris Bedwell on the outside. Garrett with a nice jump, gonna pull Joseph Mahar along with him as they go down into turn number 1, side by side, Bedwell and Mahar. The bottom has looked really, really strong in the first couple laps. Guys are gonna get huge runs and they're gonna take as much as they can here early. Gonna be a little bit difficult to pass. Joseph Mahar with a big run, gonna go down to the inside of the 13. If he can make this pass, that is a strong move. Is he going to be able to complete it? 13 going to try to go for the crossover. Mahar kind of defends the bottom. Smart move by the 46 as he is able to defend that crossover. And, man, it's getting bottled up behind him, though. Garrett Kinder going to drive down to the outside, get to that right rear quarter as they come off a turn 2, and he is there. Garrett Kinder coming with a vengeance on the outside on new tires, which is really surprising. He's got the 95 going with him. So Mahar gets a good run through that middle of that corner, but man, here comes the 13 off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. I thought these guys would take it easy, but they're not. Garrett Kinder, knowing how important it is to stay out front, all these drivers know that if you are running third, it's going to be so much more difficult to get back to the front once you get through the tire cycle. So these guys fighting for the lead makes perfect sense, and that's allowing the guys to catch up. As the 46 gonna lean right up in front of the 13. They give him a little bump that's gonna open the door for Chris Bedwell, pushing the 46. The 13 is down the front straightaway, letting him know he didn't appreciate that. But now it's going to be Chris Bedwell's turn to take a shot at the 46. Not going to be able to clear him off the corner, but man, what in the world has gotten into these guys? Martinsville lit a fire up under their butts. They got tired of running under caution, and Bedwell's going to do the same thing back to him. Here comes Mahar, though, back down to the inside. Man, this is great racing. If you're Tracy Bassett, you're loving this, and you're hoping that you save a little bit of tire, and these guys burn them up. Here goes the Mahar. Gonna try the slide job, but the 95 is still there on the right rear corner. To 13 looking for somewhere to go right behind him. See if he can find a spot to stick that 13 machine, as we'll open up the picture-in-picture, go on board with Garrett Kinder down on the bottom right, so you can see this battle from a couple different views. How about that? Rebel Racing Network picture-in-picture, and then Garrett disappears. I know a lot of folks probably watching this going, dadgummit, you got 2 cameras and both of them are pointed at the dang leaders. Well, if they wouldn't put on such a good show, I wouldn't do it. Here comes Mahar, going to another slide job on the 95. The 95 going to give him a shove down the front straightaway. The slide job is pretty much open invitation for, hey, give me a big old shot in the rear end. And we'll see how it goes. Here comes Garrett Kinder down to the inside. Look at everybody joining the party. That Tracy passes Josh Lokovitz and Chris McLean. It's a Po-Man train coming right behind these 3 drivers here. 46 now goes a little bit high. The 95 going to go for a slide job again. Here we go. Crossover from the 46. Here they go down the front straightaway, but the 95 of Chris Bedwell able to take the lead here. But here comes the 46 back at him. Come on, let's go. I love this. If you ain't having fun watching this, I don't know what to tell you. This is about as good as it gets. And you see Chris Carroll moving in the background as he is making his way up to the front. He started all the way in the back. And he has already made his way back up to this front part. I don't even know what that means, front part. Still side by side for the lead. It's really allowed everybody to join the party. Get this settled quick. Joseph Hart back out to the lead, but it's still side-by-side racing. Here comes Chris McLean down to the inside. They cross the line for lap 38. It is still side-by-side up front. You know what? There's too many people who want it. Man, I don't know who's going to win this race, as there is all kinds of talent up here up front. And more keep joining the party as they continue to run side-by-side. As Mahar going to get a nice drive through the middle of the corner. Going to try to slide here, but he's not going to be able to. Oh, boy. That's a dangerous game to be playing, as that slide job was a little bit almost too late, as the 95 had a nice run. He's going to clear, but here comes the crossover as they go back and forth here at Kansas. My goodness. Bedwell going to get a nice run off the corner. Going to stay up on the high side as he tries to hold off this 46. Will he be able to clear him here? Got a good position. Man, Mahar gets such a great run through the middle of 3 and 4 and is able to go all the way down to the apron and continue to run side by side. This is where Bedwell has been the strongest on the high side. Can he make it? Stick here and get the run down the straight. He does. So Chris Bedwell takes the lead. He's going to try to break the draft a little bit. Here comes the 13 down to the inside of the 46. The 79 going to go up high, try to fill those gaps. It's almost like Daytona Talladega out here. Everybody's just filling whatever gap, whatever lane they can fit the truck in. And we're side by side, 2 by 2 from second on back to 5th place. And there's Chris Carroll laying in the weeds, waiting on somebody to make a mistake, waiting on an avenue to open up. And so is Ray Rogers. Ray Rogers, one of those drivers who just love driving up through the field. They have made it up to the front. Takes the lead, but he is not getting away. The draft just too strong, just pulling everybody in. Those bow ties looking extremely strong as Josh Lokevitz has now moved his way up to 3rd place. He is right on the back bumper of Joseph Hart. And Chris Carroll also right behind him. Man, oh man, this is some great racing. Starting to fall back just a little bit as those tires start to wear out. Starting to notice that 13 kind of stuck on the bottom as well. He needs to get out to the outside as you start to see the bottom start to fall away here at the end of this run. See them lined up, six trucks on the outside, so the outside has now taken over as the dominant line. And they'll kind of hang out back here just a little bit, go back in. We've got a battle between Alan Smith and Stephen Ayers Jr. going to the inside. Alan Smith has dropped 6 spots since the start of this race, so he is falling back a little bit, but how much is he saving? Is he waiting on an opportunity to maybe make up some ground on the long run? That sounds about right. That's what I would expect out of him. He loves to try to save those tires and be there at the end. Been caught up in a lot of trouble this season, him and Stephen Ayers. So these two right here racing side by side, wanting to have a good run tonight. I think that's a tough thing in iRacing, racing in general. Is you can get kind of stuck in the rut, and you want to be able to have a couple bad races. You know what? Let me finish this one. Let's get to the end. That's where you kind of get a lot of experience, but you also complete the races, man. You end up better in the points. And my goodness, getting a little bit loose there on the front stretch is the 3 truck. But everybody takes time off. They show up. They want to race when we get to the end of this thing. And I'm sure both these guys would love to see the checkered flag tonight. Not real sure what happened to Aaron Adcock, who you see right back there in 16th position. Not really sure if he had to make another stop. I'm not sure. Go back and see what happened. He had to come in and take a stop and go. We'll try to look back and see if we can figure out what happened to the 17 machine. But out front, it is still Chris Bedwell. You see down there on the bottom right, you watch this battle for 14th, 15th, and 16th there in Adcock on the move. Looks like Aaron Adcock had a stop and go penalty and had to come back down pit road. Go back and check this out. On our side by side. I think. Still watching as the 95 is still out front. I'm trying to find what happened here to number 17 truck. I just can't find it, so I'm not really sure what happened to him. Way too much time trying to figure this out. I could probably just pull him up into the booth and just ask him my dang self. But anyway, yeah, trouble for Aaron Adcock is he's just having an odd night with what I think is a penalty. Delsmar coming down pit road. Oh, barely makes it down pit road as he really struggled to get down to pace speed. Watch that again here on the replay as you see getting in. Oh my goodness, locks him up, then slides through his pit stall. So hopefully he didn't have a speeding penalty there, but gonna give up, I think what was the 3rd place, and come down pit road and make his pit stop. As we wait for everybody else to start making pit stops, but it looks like Mahar is still on pit road. I guess he sped on pit road. You see him coming out now. He had spent 54 seconds. That is most definitely a pit road speeding penalty. So saw him getting in really, really hot. He's coming out of pit road now, but he is going to be multiple laps down. He's 2 laps down right now. That is going to be very difficult. He's going to need a few cautions to get back into this thing. So tough night for Mahar as he's trying to make up some positions, do a little undercut, but a speeding penalty is going to take him out of this thing for sure. Did a little pit road reporting on my own. Went down there trying to see what happened there to Aaron Adcock. As turns out he hits the wall and has a little bit of damage. Thought maybe the option would be good and decided that the truck's still not where he needed it to be, and so he comes down pit road and gets that fast repair. So that's why Aaron Adcock is in the 13th position after being up front. So another mistake there, but actually did a really good job of getting back on track, not losing a lap, and getting back into this thing. But it looks like he's gotten a little bit of that wall again. If we can see what's going on with the little camera work here on the side, and you can see a crinkled right front all again as the 17 being aggressive. Got that fast repair, and he's got more damage to the right side of that 17 machine. So Aaron Adcock struggling here. Up front, it is still Chris Bedwell, but Garrett Kinder not too far away. As here comes Alan Smith down pit road, as along with Matt Rogers and Mike Presley. Come down pit road to make their stop here on lap 59 of 120. I think you can go about 38 laps, so they're definitely going to have to come back down again. But making their pit stop here early, I would expect to see others make their way down pit road too pretty soon. As you can see right there, the 91 of Willie Evernham already made his pit stop. He's got those fresh tires. He's going to unlap himself. Oh, Willie Evernham's actually 2 laps down, so he's gotten one of his laps back, but he's still 2 laps down. So, oh, he's gonna get in the wall right in front of the leader. Ooh, a scary moment as the 91 clips the wall a little bit. He's still going, but man, almost a massive error on the part of the 91 is right in front of the leader. Almost had a big issue there. Good grief, that was scary. Here comes Chris Bedwell, also trying to get down to pit speed. Did he make it? Woo! Very, very close for these drivers. Pit road must be very difficult to get down into, as, man, we've seen guys struggle all night long to get down on pit road. Joseph Mahar already with a penalty. So we'll watch as Ray Rogers comes down pit road. See how difficult it is, and boy, he is really fighting to get that thing down to pace speed. As we watch Chris Bedwell and Garrett Kinder, woo, side by side, coming off a pit road. This may be the battle for the lead, depending on how they come out of pit road. Side by side down on the apron. How often do you see a race on the exit of pit road? But these guys still racing side by side. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, this has been a fantastic race. Golly, unreal. What a great pit stop and move there for the 13. He's going to jump up in front of the 95, and the 95 going to jump down to the inside, maybe look to try to make that pass back. You see Mahar right in front of him, but Mahar is 20th, 1 lap down. now we're back at it side by side between these two drivers. And they are as close as you can get, one net code away from having some issues with these two drivers non-stop all night long. It's been a blast. Chris Bedwell definitely has shown the greatest long run speed, leading that little bit. But Garrett Kinder, obviously very strong. He got kind of stuck there on the bottom, had to fall back a little bit, but with the right pit strategy and a great pit stop, he's able to come back and battle for the lead. This is the battle to first here. Well, I'll tell you what. This may get settled for a minute. Let's go through the field. Let's see where everybody's running. Let's talk to them. We've seen this battle for a bit, so we'll jump through the field. Chris Carroll has moved himself up into the third position. He's currently 3 seconds back from the leaders. Right behind him is Tracy Passons. Chris Carroll moved up 17 spots. Tracy started third, running in fourth, having a great run. So he's doing a fantastic job right behind those two drivers. Chris McLean, we saw him get to the wall early, but not got into the wall, had to fall back a little bit, but he is still getting with it. As we go and look at the bottom of your screen, that's Ray Rogers coming back out of pit road. Another speeding penalty there for 51 of Ray Rogers. So, man, speeding is becoming an issue. We watched him get down on pit road, saw his RPM gauge just take off and just cut all the way off. He was on the brakes so hard, and unfortunately not able to get down into pit road speed. He currently runs 21st, 2 laps down. He's only dropping 2 laps down now, so he's got a lot of work to do. He's going to need some help. So Ray Rogers in trouble as well, but Chris McLean looking to get back in this thing. Alan Smith running in 6th place. He has made his pit stop. Now he pitted a few laps for these drivers, him and Matt Rogers. They were able to take advantage of those fresh tires. You're pretty much wide open. And man, look at Alan Smith, Matt Rogers with the pit strategy, and they find themselves up into the top 10. Behind them, they have 3-lap fresher tires, and that is Kip Easley and Daniel Holcroft. So they are trying to work together. I believe those are teammates, trying to work together to run those guys down. But, man, what a great strategy by Alan Smith and Matt Rogers. We've had some guys with some, Joseph Mahar with the speeding penalty along with Ray Rogers. Billy Abraham had some issue as well. And then Aaron Adcock having that damage has really opened up this race in the top 10. And, man, Alan Smith, Matt Rogers doing a fantastic job with that strategy, and finds himself 6th and 7th. Kip Easley, Daniel Holcroft on their way pretty quickly, so they're going to have to get single file. They're going to be eating up pretty fast here. So here they come. The big head of steam. 3-lap fresher tires, so expect to see. It looks like they're trying to clog maybe the field up a little bit. We're going to be 3 wide. Kip Easley's like, excuse me, pardon me. I got fresh Goodyears. I'm going to the front. Oh, and Alan Smith's going to get into the wall. Makes contact. Oh, my goodness. It's the mental mistakes. And, oh, my goodness, somebody just runs into the back of him. Josh Lokovich just plows right in the back of the 3 as he's slow. No caution. But Josh Lokovich is going to have some pretty major damage, I would imagine. As we'll look at it here, the replay as we're watching the live screen on the big screen will go into the picture-in-picture, and you can watch. This is on board with Josh Lokovich as Alan Smith's going to get into the wall, and he pulls it off the wall right in front of him, and Lokovich tries to get on the brake. You can see that, and it gets into him. So tough deal there for Alan Smith and Lokovich. Everybody trying to make up some ground here. Go up front, it is still Chris Bedwell with Garrett Kinder right behind him, trying to maybe manage a gap, hopefully try to pull away a little bit, but Chris Carroll is 1.3 seconds back, and he should have the draft as we'll go on board with him if we can. And here's Chris Carroll. He should be able to snip the draft now. We're going to have a 3 to 4 car battle for the lead as Garrett Kendrick going to look down to the inside of Chris Bedwell. Bedwell shuts the door. 13 can probably see that 97 coming along with Tracy Passons and Chris McClain. It's going to get busy up front pretty quickly. No doubt about it. You can see on the left side of your screen, you see the top 5 within 2 seconds of each other. And Garrett Kendrick can see him coming. He's got a little bit of urgency in that 13 truck. Time to go. If you're faster, try to make it work. I don't know. I mean, these guys are about 12 laps into this stint. I don't know when tires become an issue where that bottom side just not that good. But Bedwell overall, has been very strong on the outside. So 13's going to have to really bring it here to get around it. Talking about Alan Smith being up in the 6th position, and it went from really great to a tough night already as he's back in the 16th position after that contact with the ball and contact with the 79 machine. But battle for the lead still rages on as the 13 gets a little bit of run from Anthony Edgerton as he goes a lap down, and now side by side for the lead again. Man, what a great battle. Still have one pit stop left to go under green, and then we'll be racing to the end. Let's go back through the field. We missed a few folks. Chuck Pegleg Phelps running side by side with Charles Stevens Jr. And looks like Chuck going to be able to get around that 88 machine right now. So Chuck having a fantastic run along with Charles. Both these drivers have moved forward. And they are up into the 8th and 9th position. Chuck running that bottom line, but it looks like Charles is starting to get that high line rolling. Man, I got to tell you, talk about Chuck a little bit. Don't want to spend a whole lot of time not talking about the race, but do want to give him some props, man. Chuck, my teammate over there in the MPI series and Xfinity series on Tuesday nights. And we were racing Talladega and got a little bump from somebody and ended up halfway sideways at Talladega. Lost the draft, and you know who came back for me? That gum old Chuck Pegleg Phelps right here in that 75. Comes back for me. Me and him get nose to tail. The field's kind of saving fuel a little bit. We had plenty of fuel to make it. And Chuck came back for me, and we ran him down from about 3.5 seconds back. Just me and him. Got up to the front, able to get the win at the end. And it was all because of Chuck Phelps, man. What a teammate he is. And looking glad to see him having a good run right now. Up quite a few spots where he started up 2. He started 10th, up in 8th place, and that is a pretty good run. He continues to move forward too. He's a little bit faster than Danny Holcroft right in front of him, so he is starting to run him down as well as he gets around Charles Stevens. So Chuck having a fantastic run. I want to shout him out as, man, I could not have gotten that win the other night without him. He was a big, big part of it. Well, just 40 laps to go here at Kansas, and Chris Bedwell still your leader. We're kind of going through the field is trying to make sure we don't miss any action, but I want to highlight some drivers and what they're doing. Charles Stevens is back in the 9th position. Matt Rogers in 11th after that pit strategy, found himself in the top 10, starting to fall back just a little bit, but not too bad. George Williams started on the pole. He was the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, but has fallen back 11 spots where he started the truck was clean, but I don't know if he has had some issues. Maybe just not really sure. Not really sure what's going on with George. I expect to see him up towards the front. But I'm sure if I know George like I do, he's got a big little smile on his face. Just a bunch of positivity coming out of this fella. And he's got a lot of fans that watch. So shout out to them. But George having a rough night tonight. But it could all turn around with caution up front, though. Got a battle for second places. Here comes Chris Carroll. He's run down the 13, going to go to the outside. And he has run these guys down. And Garrett Kenner going to fall back to third place. Chris Carroll completes a pass. 18 spots he has made up on the 13 machine. So the 95 making his way to the front. Took him 83 laps when he finally gets back up there. Here, that's Tracy Passons trying to go around the lap truck of Anthony X. Has gotten new tires at some point. Go back through the field though, Mike Presley in the 44 machine. He has made up 4 spots from where he started. He had a rough week last week at Martinsville, as he is under fire from the 17, Aaron Adcock. But Mike Presley had a little bit of trouble last week. Stayed out on old tires trying to get some track position in Martinsville and just struggled there. So looking for a good run. He's currently at 13. He's in the right direction. Fighting off the boss man here pretty soon in the 17, though. He's running back in 14. We've already talked about his races up front, running in second at one point. Falls back a little bit, gets the wall, and then has to come back down, take a fast repair, try to work his way back up through the field. But we've already looked at it, damage already again on the right front. So the 17 just having a tough night. He did win in the Sunoco Cup Series last Sunday, so coming off the high of a win, he's still having a pretty dang good week. Gonna need some help, gonna need a caution to get back in this thing, as he is currently running in 14th. We got a battle for the lead popping off here as Chris Bedwell under fire from the 97. Now these two are teammates, but how much are they teammates? You know, that's always how I feel about teammates. Yeah, you'll work together with some people, but some folks are a little bit more of a teammate than others. And these guys, I feel like, and I could be completely wrong, and I'm sure that, but I feel like this is more of a technical alliance than I do a teammate. They definitely were competitors last season. Chris Carroll didn't have a team, and these guys brought him on board. But I tell you what, the 95 and the 97 have really had a competitive season where they are really battling each other. And I think, you know, once we get down to the end of the season, I think the 95 and 97 will be most likely, I feel like, definitely top 8 in the playoffs. But I would be surprised if they're not racing it for a championship at the end of this season. But I think, you know, I think it's sort of a frenemies almost. I think that they are fierce competitors. They want to beat each other. And I think Bedwell and Carroll have very, very good skill, and they know how to race. But I just see it being so competitive. Is Chris Carroll going to come down pit road, going to try to get that car slowed down? We've already seen multiple speeding penalties. Ooh, it is close, as he was very, very close to pace speed, but he comes down pit road. Bedwell is going to most likely come down almost immediately, as being the first one on pit road right there is going to make a huge difference. Carroll going to come out with a burst of speed with those new tires. So, man, I bet Bedwell is going to be on his way down pit road. We'll see here as we watch the 97 make his pit stop. It looks like the 95 is coming. Garrett Kenner going to stay out. Can the 95 get down pit road speed? Everybody even having trouble with it. Ooh, he also got a little close. Oh, I don't know. Guys being aggressive on entry. It must be very, very difficult to get down on pit road. Here comes Chris Carroll out with 4 tires and fuel. Looks like he was able to get down on pit road without much issue. He did not have a penalty. Garrett Kinder now your leader. How long will he stay out? Oh, Mike Presley having a half spin on the entry of pit road. Here comes your leader, Garrett Kinder. Let's go on board with Mike Presley as he gets down in pit road. Let's see what happened to him. Just misses pit road down in the grass. That's a commitment cone violation. Definitely did not make it through there. So he's going to have a 40-second hold as definitely got to get into the left side of that cone, but able to save it. Didn't cause too much damage. But that penalty is going to be tough to overcome. Tracy Passage gives up the lead, comes down pit road, going to give it to Chris McLean, who is begging for a caution. He's going to need it. He's going to have a whole lot of tires, but I think he's going to be out of time to make do with them. He stays out. 31 laps he has been on these tires. Definitely ready to come down pit road. So 13 coming out behind him. The 13 is in the front. Oh, the 5 gets into the wall there as these guys on fresh tires are coming around. And Chris Carroll right now, assuming no caution comes out, is 2.6 seconds ahead of Garrett Kinder. And those fresh tires doing work. Now Garrett Kinder should be a little bit faster so he can make up a little bit of that time. And we'll actually look at that if we can. Try to get that comparison up here on the screen. And you can see at the fastest lap, the current lap. Let's see if we can go to check out their last laps. Garrett Kinder definitely did not run a 13-second lap. See as across the line if that changes. Last lap, Chris Carroll with a 31.9. You see Garrett Kinder with 31.3. So he's definitely making up time. He is now 1.8 seconds back from Chris Carroll. So Garrett Kinder is catching him. He's going to use up a lot of tire to do so, but it's worth it. It's worth it to get caught up. You see right there, right behind him, that is going to be the lead once these guys come down pit road. Currently, Dana Shepard is your leader as he still has yet to make his final pit stop, and Aaron Adcock as well. Dana just begging somebody to come down pit road, bring out a caution. Here comes Aaron Adcock going to give up the second place. He would also love to see a caution once the cycle is over with. Was hoping to get one right there, but not able to. As just about 20 laps to go. Garrett Kinder now within 1.2 seconds of Chris Carroll. Tires not quite equalized just yet. 2-lap different that Garrett Kinder has. He's got 2-lap fresher tires. About 4/10 faster last time around Garrett Kinder was. So he is still running them down. But it is starting to slow up quite a bit. On board to the 13 Ratchet Speed Shop. Ford F-150, as you see, he's got the draft. He's there. How much tire has Chris Carroll been saving? How much is left in the tank? I really feel like Garrett Kinder, on these new tires, you really don't have to save too much. Once you get to about 15 laps, that's when the tire saving starts to really pick up. So I think Garrett Kinder is in a good spot here. He can keep up with that 94, 97 machine. Right now, the 97 really there with the fresher tires is going to be a big deal. So the 13 is there. Chris Carroll pushing the 17. They go 3 wide for the lead. The 13 drives all the way down to the bottom and takes that like a man. So Garrett Kinder up out front with 20 laps to go. Not that much time for Chris Carroll to get it back. But what about Bedwell? Bedwell been a very, very strong truck all night. Now he is joining the picture here. So we have got an amazing battle on our hands as we got 20 laps to go in this race. Chris Carroll going up to the outside now. Bedwell going down to the inside. What's happened to Carroll? I mean, we saw him on the long run these guys down, but I don't know if he's got a long run in him. So he's got to find that short run speed as he is now back to 3rd place. How much are these guys abusing the tires? And now he's under fire from lap trucks. So Chris Carroll back to 3rd, but Garrett Kinder is your leader. Nose to tail for 2nd place is the 95 and the 97. Like I said, teammates. But here at the end of races, you throw teammates out the window. Running at Talladega, you see guys, we'll work together all race long, and all of a sudden, all those manufacturers, this, manufacturer that, goes out the window as you're really just trying to get the win for yourself. Chris Carroll is consistently off the pace. Is it intentional? He's only got 1 lap older tires. Is he going to be able to save enough? If he is saving, can he save enough to make up what is now 1.5 seconds on Garrett Kinder? And that lead is continuously growing. Only one way to find out is the 40 truck going to go up here with his fresh tires, going to battle it out with the 13. George Williams pitted 7 laps ago, so he's got fresher tires than the leader here, but how hard is he going to fight? George Williams, 1 lap down, trying to hang on to that. Doesn't want to go 2 laps down if he can help it. Of course, George in the 40 is a teammate of the 95, so, and well within his right. He's not going to do anything crazy, but he's not going to make it easy on the 13 truck. And I wouldn't either. If that's my teammate, and I can help my teammate at all by just legally racing the leader, which he has every right to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it very difficult on 13, allow my teammate to catch up. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's the whole point of having teammates. We'll bring up the last laps here. On your tower, and once everything gets across the line and it starts counting it again, you can see the accurate times here. Garrett Kinder runs 32.1, Chris Bedwell 32.1, Chris Carroll at 32.0, and here they are. Chris Carroll jumping up to the high side. He's really making the high side work. He is running about as close as you can get to the wall there in 1 and 2. As Garrett Kinder still struggling with the 40 of George Williams right in front of him. At the line, be dang even on time, so 13 in a good position. He's starting to get up there and run the top side. He's kind of gotten beat a couple times, but going down bottom. George Williams starting to drive away a little bit, so that's good for the 13. Just on his mirrors. A little bit of gamesmanship going on up front. You can kind of see in the distance that pink truck. It's the one in the middle, the gray one. That's Garrett Kinder. You can see George Williams just trying to run wherever Garrett is. You saw Garrett goes down the bottom of George actually drives down the track to take the air off the front of his truck, help his teammates. Starting to fall off here. Kinder still keeping distance there, but how much is he going to hold off these drivers? This has been an amazing race. I expect nothing less than an amazing finish. Caution free so far. I shouldn't have said it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Man, impressive. So far, almost 110 laps under green, other than the stage break, but that was a caution. So. Having some connection issues, so that's why his lap times aren't completely accurate. That time by, he was faster than both the 95 and the 97. Getting the draft off the 46 helped him a good amount, still maintaining that 1 second gap back to Chris Bedwell. Do these checked out racing boys, do they got anything for the 13 machine? It is getting down to crunch time. And I'm starting to think that Garrett Kinder found a little extra here through the middle of this race, as he was really struggling after those first little battles up front. Of course, he was battling really hard, which really accelerates that tire wear. And on this run has been really smooth. I have to say he's been smart about how he's dealing with the lap traffic. And right now just trying to hold on to that speed is Bedwell about a tenth faster last time by. We'll see at the line another 10th. Chris Bedwell starting to hit some strides here with just a few laps to go. Down the tire difference, very minimal. Garrett Kinder pitted on lap 20 laps ago. Bedwell 21 and Chris Carroll 22. So Garrett Kinder has the fresher tires. How much has he abused them? We'll see at the line. It's been 2 tenths and 2 laps for Bedwell and about a half a tenth that time. So Bedwell going to start to get that draft. 13 goes up to the wall. He's doing the best that he can to keep as much momentum up as he possibly can. And we'll look at Chris Bedwell. You can see him kind of following his tracks, run down that 13 machine. Does he have enough time? If he gets there, has he got enough to get around him? We've seen these drivers battle side by side constantly. One run for almost 10 laps side by side, I would say. Just insane. That time by ran almost identical lap times. Somewhere, run different to where he's running right in his tire tracks, and I don't know if he's able to do anything with that, as that makes the truck a little bit tighter, takes the air off the front. Top has been really dominant. He's going to go to the outside here in 3 and 4. Let's see if he can get a good run down the front straightaway, get a little bit more of that draft. Have to check him just a little bit, but like he's going to gain on him a little bit here. Garrett Kinder links out, so I don't really know yet. 2 tenths that last lap. Chris Bedwell able to pick up going high in 3 and 4. Can he repeat? He only has 4 laps to go. Going to go high in 3 and 4 again. See if he can match that speed. Garrett Kinder goes down to the bottom. not handling like they want them to. Right front getting really hot. The steering wheel, you're having to turn it just a little bit more than you'd want to. Just not making up enough time here. Henry doing exactly what he needs to do. Almost a 10th, but not quite. He's got to do way more than that. Garrett Kendrick just have to not make a mistake here. You've got it pretty much covered. As we down on the bottom right of your screen, you see the battle. Third place is Tracy Paskins starting to run down that 97 machine. We're going to have a battle for third as we watch the battle for the lead here. White flag is out, though, for Garrett Kinder as he's taken that 13 machine and been up front all race long. He's going to be the paint of the night as well, so I'm going to go ahead and give him that. We don't have a paint of the night. Well, he's still the paint of the night in that 13 machine. 13 goes down into 3 and 4, still 6/10 back. Chris Bedwell has nothing left in the tank, but the 13 of Garrett Kinder is going to win here tonight. A battle for third back there as Chris Carroll able to hang on to it, and Tracy Paskins comes home in fourth. What a race. Chris Bedwell in second. Just an amazing, amazing race from start to finish. Only caution was the stage break. And Garrett Kinder is your winner. Tracy Paskins, like I said, in fourth. Kip Easley with a fantastic run up into fifth place. Chris McLean in sixth. Daniel Holcroft in seventh. Chuck Pegleg Felts in eighth. Charles Stevens Jr. in ninth. Dana Shepard in 10th. Matt Rogers in 11th. Josh Lokovitz in 12th. 13th, Aaron Adcock. 14th, Alan Smith. Stephen Ayers Jr. in 15th. George C. Williams. 16th, Joseph Mahar in 17th. Ray Rogers, 18th. These guys had penalties, just could never recover without a caution. Mike Presley, 19th. Anthony Edgerton in 20th. And Willie Evernham in 21st. Garrett Kinder burning them down here on the front stretch as he takes the checkered flag here in Apex. Giving us some donuts. Well, alrighty. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get these interviews rolling. If we can. Get Garrett Kinder up here in just a second. Where the heck is he? There he is. Garrett Kinder, this Eddie in the booth got a copy.
What's up, Eddie?
Man, what a race, dude. Man, Kansas
You're
in the
telling me.
trucks puts on a great show, and man, able to come out with the victory tonight. Man, talk about your race, and then definitely tell me about that last pit stop and what you need to do to get up there and take the lead and hang on to it like that.
Ah, man, the race was fun the whole time. Dirty air played a big role in all of it, of course, just like it always does here at Kansas. But yeah, ran up front most of the day. I think furthest I dropped back was fifth or sixth or so, and just kind of keep the nose clean. Everybody started running high, and I ran low. and tried to keep some tire underneath it, and ended up working out pretty well. Moved up high later on in the run than everybody else did, and was able to make up a couple spots coming to the stage break or the first pit stop. I can't remember which. Me and Bedwell seemed like we duked it out the whole race. It seems like I'd get a run on him, he'd get a run on me, and we'd just fight back and forth. That last pit stop, just I've got a win in the books already, and I might be able to gain a little bit here and smoke it into pit road, and make up some time on these guys. And that's what I did. I got into pit road pretty well, a lot better than I did the first time around, and came out in front of Bedwell by a second, uh, and just kind of held that the entire last run. Chris Carroll, he was up front. I think he had come down a little bit earlier than everybody else, but yeah, man, it was just a lot of fun. Pit strategy played out. Race went green to checkers, so except for the stage break, so you can't beat that. It's just good racing.
Yeah. Well, it was just so much fun to watch you. You guys just, I mean, you guys were back and forth, slicing and dicing,
Oh
doing
yeah.
doing crossovers. I mean, is there? I mean, that's why we get on iRacing, man. We do it.
Oh yeah.
We do it to do that right there, and then to be able to do all that, have a blast, and then get the win at the end. That's just impressive. Talk about that first run though. You started to fall back a little bit as you're running the bottom. It kind of got stuck there as the tires
Yeah.
wore. Is that something you were concerned about, or you felt pretty good about your chances if you could once you got to the to pit
I
road?
Man, I didn't know what the tire model was anymore. When I first got on iRacing, Kansas was you run the high line the entire race, and then it went to you run the low line the whole race, and then the last I'd heard it was you run low, then you run high. So I didn't know where the heck to run. So I had better tire wear than any of my teammates did, but it was because of the loss of time getting peached down like I did. But yeah, it was concerning. Kind of had to adapt my strategy as I went. I kind of paid attention to when everybody else was moving up, and just kind of followed suit. I think I moved up earlier than anybody else did on that last run, and I think that's why I was able to stay out in front.
Well, definitely did that. Able to make up the ground, get the pass to lead, and run away with it. So, man, congratulations on a great win. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Absolutely. First week on the hood, and Ratchet Speed Shop comes out and gets a W. So big shout out to Ratchet Speed Shop, Kinder Farm and Ranch, big supporter since day one. So big shout out to both of them. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. You want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else. Just check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page and Andy over at Wolfpack Racing, some good guys in the industry to know. All my teammates over here at Poman Motorsports, we had a good showing. I think, most of us, if not all of us, qualified in the top 10, and gave it a pretty good run. I think Tracy ended up somewhere in the top 5. So good run all the way around. And all my short tracking guys over at Velocity Motorsports. Thank you up in the booth. Thank everybody watching back home. It's just good times, man. Apex is one of the best series that's out there. All of our series sponsors, they do a phenomenal job about keeping the lights on over here. And Aaron Adcock, of course, can't forget Boss Man.
That's right. Well, Garrett Kinder, your winner here tonight with a fantastic run to the win and just up front battling all night long. Let's bring in second place and let's talk to him, see how he felt about the whole shebang. And let's talk to our second place finisher, Chris Bedwell. Is Eddie in the booth? You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Man, what a race. I know second place is not where everybody wants to finish, but if I got to be honest with you, y'all put on a hell of a show, and it was just a blast to watch all the way through. And there at the end was all so close to running him back down, just kind of got stuck around 7, 8 tenths. What did you need? What extra did you need to be able to run him down and get that win?
Good last pit stop. That was it. Lost it right there. I was sideways coming in the pits. I'm surprised that I didn't get a speeding penalty. If I would have had just even a clean stop, I think it would have been a little bit different. He may have still had a better stop than me, but I don't think the distance would have been as great. And I think also maybe instead of running his line to try and pick some kind of a draft up, I should have just run my line that whole run. And yeah, I started running my line with like 10 laps to go, and I was gaining like a half a tenth on him, and that just wasn't enough.
Well, I mean, still an amazing race. Like I said, y'all put on a show and look like y'all were just having a blast. So I hope you had fun. out there because it definitely looked that way.
It
Yeah,
was a lot of fun.
yeah. Talk about the pit road entry. You kind of talked about maybe you thought you got in a little bit too hot. We saw a lot of folks with that issue tonight. What was so different about this particular pit road that was making it so hard for guys to get down to pit road speed?
I'm not really sure. One thing for me is I normally practice pit entry on tracks like this where, we pretty well guaranteed to have a long green run and to have at least one green flag stop. And I just didn't practice and practice. But I think it was just the transition from the banking to the flat was a little too much for the trucks to hit it where I was hitting it. I know there is a spot where you can hit it and it's nice and smooth, but I just forgot where it was. Came in, just started practicing the high line, and just forgot to practice pit entry.
Well,
Won't happen again.
well, man, I tell you, it was just a blast to watch. Y'all put on shows. It's just unreal, man. I think it felt like 20 laps you and Garrett Kinder ran side by side. You had Mahar up there trading blows as well, just
Yeah,
slicing each other up, man. Just,
yeah.
man, so much fun. So, I know second's not where you want to finish. Disappointed in that, but man, you got to hold your head up high because you put on a hell of a show. And that's sometimes that's a little bit better, if you're up there dicing it up for a win, eventually you're gonna get one, and so it'll happen for sure. But man, great run tonight, second place, nothing to sneeze at. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Just everybody on the team. Chris Carroll, George Williams, Dana Shepard, and Tony Edgington. Just a lot of fun on Thursday nights. My wife gives me crap all the time, and my rig's in the basement. She says, "You're so loud." And I go, "Yeah, I'm having fun with my friends." And she goes, "This afternoon," she goes, "Do you race tonight?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, that's right. This is your loud night." So so she's not hanging out downstairs this tonight. But thank her, I guess, for hanging around when she wants to, and just everybody else. Aaron Adcock for the direction and guidance in the league. Coming from Martinsville and not having a very good presentation on the broadcast to having a pretty good one tonight, I think. And you for broadcasting, and everybody else in the league.
Well, there you have it, Chris Bedwell, your second place finisher, put on a show. Just come up a little bit short, uh, but man, just an incredible showing out of him. Um, no, no reason to hold your head down if you're the 95. Well, let's talk to Chris Carroll. Now, he is also going to be your hard charger. Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award winner is going to be Chris Carroll as he made up 17 spots from where he started. Just unreal. Starting in the back, making his way to the front, but comes up a little bit short of the win, but third place, pretty dang good. Chris Carroll, you got a copy?
I got a copy. Eddie Smith, how you doing, bud?
Man, I'm telling you what, I'm exhausted after that race because I never could stop yelling because it was so exciting. And the two up front, Garrett Kenner, Chris Bedwell, just putting on an amazing show. And you a little bit different, man. You were working your way through the field, and you only got the one stage break to really get caught back up, and just constantly had to work your way through the field. You got up there and took the lead, and then on that last pit stop, man, it just kind of seemed to fall off just a little bit. What happened out there?
Well, I did it to myself, Eddie. Right before we came to the last pit stop, I clipped the wall off of four, and I wanted to. If I was a smart man, I'd have took my fast repair. I didn't get it clicked in time, but I knocked about a tenth out of the truck, and I had, I think, 11 seconds damage, and that killed it. I did not have the speed to hang with those guys, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'd have been able to hold them off. Anyways, Kansas is definitely not my track, but trying to survive out there and be smart and pick my way. I kind of found a groove on that one long run, and I thought I had her figured out, and then I whacked the wall like a rookie, so I deserve third place or worse.
Well, still a fantastic race. You put on a good show, battling through, especially up front when those two were battling up the lead. Everybody kind of got caught up in that bunch, and y'all were just all over the place trying to find any little bit of grip you can, doing all kinds of slide jobs so that USAFirearms.com number 97 machine looked like it was having a blast. So, man, congratulations on third place. Definitely want the win, but man, third place is pretty good. Able to hold off Tracy there at the end. Man, as
He was
always,
coming.
yeah, he was definitely moving. But man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Well, I always got to thank you up in the booth, Eddie. You always make me look good out there, and I'm glad you didn't see me on the broadcast whacking the wall. Got to thank USAFirearms.com. Got to thank all the boys here, Apex, that put on this show and work hard to give us a place to race. And thank all my teammates out there, Bedwell and Dana and Tony and all the boys and of course the pink man there. What's his name? Come on, George. Why did I forget George? But I'll call him the pink man from now on, Eddie.
Yeah,
but
I was
that's about
scared.
it.
I didn't know who that was, so I was like, I don't know if I should. I don't know if I'm about to disrespect somebody. I didn't know who it was.
But yeah, all my friends and family out there watching, my folks are always watching too. So all you guys that would work hard to put this on for us, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm sorry. I guess you're glad that I missed, but you're hitting the wall. But I try not to show anybody whacking on the broadcast. So congratulations on third place. Chris Carroll comes home in third, but able to man get a great finish, coming up 17 positions, and man, what a great finish there at the end between him and Tracy Passons. Woo! I tell you what, I am out of gas, as that was one of the best races that we've seen. You know, it's funny how that works. The boss man's out of town, and you know we we have a rough Martinsville race. Boss man comes back, gives him a little talking to, shows up tonight, and man, did the race not deliver here in Apex. So as always, want to thank Apex Sim Racing Gear. Definitely go check them out if you have a sim rig, anything like that. Go check them out, man. Go see what they got. If you don't sim race, I've been telling you, you know, what would be better than to turn your air conditioner on? It's getting hot. You need a little switch. Just flip the switch. AC comes on. You're going to leave it on all day anyway. Go get a switch. Do something. If you got you a rig, though, man, go get you all kinds of products. Sim button boxes, add-ons for your wheels. Popular wheels have got buttons that kind of attach to it. So go check out Jimmy over there at ApexSimRacing.com as we get ready to finish up here at the Po Man post-race interviews. We didn't get to talk about the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind, so we'll hit their. We'll see if we can hit their button real quick and get it to. Oh Lord. Well, Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. Want to thank them, Kinder Farm and Ranch, for sponsoring. I know they're happy tonight as they were able to get that win. Make sure we got all the different awards to give out. Jammed Up Award presented by Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range in Tupelo, Mississippi. You know, there's a lot. I'm going to give it to multiple people tonight. Joseph Mahar with that speeding penalty. He was up front battling for the lead, and I think he's definitely a candidate for that. Just a tough way to go out, come down pit road, try to be aggressive. We heard that being aggressive was important, and comes down pit road, gets that speeding penalty, never able to recover. So he's definitely going to be the Hard Luck Award. Ray Rogers, another one of those drivers who sped on pit road. We saw Mike Presley get loose, not make the entrance at all, and go through the grass and come out and finish in 19th. So a few drivers with some really hard luck and got jammed up. And those three drivers, I think, are pretty good candidates for that award. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got. I'm out of breath and I'm out of everything. As man, great race. Kinder able to take home the win, and we leave Kansas with a not a sour taste, but a sweet taste in our mouth, as that was some of the best racing that you can ask for. So congratulations to the whole field. You guys deserve all the props in the world. Y'all put on a great show. Anyway, I'm Eddie Smith. We'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great